ought not to be water here. I have an ill feeling about this.
There ought not to be water here. I have an ill feeling about this.
Mind that they do not poison you. We have no means of exploiting our enemies.
Asps! Mind that they do not poison you. We have no means of exploiting our enemies' weaknesses. Focus your strength, Arisen. That was well.
There's no one standing who might say otherwise.
I have no intention of
Alfred. There's no one standing who might say otherwise.
I have no intention of swapping gossip. Oh, a feat not easily matched. Oh, a feat not easily matched.
Huge appreciation to Chris Todd for coming back for a second part. If you remember, it was about 6 weeks ago when he came on to talk about Kurt Cobain, but he was about to enter the epicenter of a storm that we have seen him have be the co-author of, and he does credit him as the author. I would describe him as an engineer in this situation, of this book that became the #1 selling book in the world on Amazon. It became banned by Amazon. There was cease and desists. There has been insane legal action. There's been so much. I cannot even encompass it all in the introduction to Chris, but we are going to go over it much more slowly in the coming interview. Yeah. And I know loads of people have sent questions in today. We're going to get to them. Have you sent any links to us to share, Chris, as well?
No. This stuff's out there. They can and I was just waiting around. I'm going to read some of it today. This was the cease and desist that was going on to the jail. And nobody got the rule. So we're having fun today.
All right. Chris, I think it's about 6 weeks ago we spoke.
Yeah.
Can you take us just slowly through the sequence of events that happened after the interview?
Yeah, I mean, we're talking obviously about Diddy and the book, right? So we're talking about Diddy's lost words. This is the final proof. I don't even have a copy because our book was pulled down, so I don't even have it anymore. Obviously, I have the master digitally, but so Kim's lost words made a big stink, a lot of drama, and we sold a lot of copies. They pulled it down. It's the most controversial book in the world. Right now, bar none, it is the most controversial book. And now that the cat's out of the bag, that Courtney Burgess has come forward, partly because of me, partly because of himself, partly for Kim, and a lot of other moving parts with Ariel Mitchell. This was the book. This is the original book. And Courtney pressed up this book from Kim and the source, which we can hint at today. I'm not going to reveal the source, but you guys are getting one step closer to the big cheese, the big enchilada. Because now you see Courtney come out, now you get to touch him, and there he is. And I had to protect him for a long time. But we don't need to have too much backstory about why he came forward. I think he's upset that people didn't believe him. I think that people are upset they didn't believe that Kim Porter wrote the book. And we took a bashing in the media. And today I'll talk about some of the reporters, but I'll try to be cool about it. But you guys want to say something? Say it to me. Come say it to me. Chris Cuomo, Mark Garagos, come say it to my face. Come say that Kim made it up and that Courtney's fake. Come on. So, these people, these mainstream media people that are trying to silence me for years, ain't happening. So we beat you. We already beat you. And we'll beat you again. You're not real journalists. You're not investigators. So anyway, get off that real fast. This became this. This is highly explosive. I do not want it to be released. I don't. And if he tries to put it out, I'm going to stop it. If anybody tries to put this out, which they already kind of did online, they're already reading it, I'm going to stop you. Because this is fire. I edited a version, and I put a couple things in here to help Kim and to help the celebrities. This thing burns the forest down. So, yeah. So, we're not putting the book back up. Eventually, down the road, as I pulled Al B. Shore's chapter out of the book, chapter 5, it's gone. So, yeah, we'd like to someday minus her face, and we'd like to, whether it's a movie or I'd like to do a scripted movie. I don't care about the documentary. Everybody and their mother's got a documentary about it. There's nothing original there. Nothing. So, and they even did this. What? Look, when they first did that book, they made t-shirts. When you ordered the book, they sent you a t-shirt. It came together. And they tried to do it, but I told them they needed me. I'm the key. I'm the whistleblower. I have the history of it. And they knew that. And now it's all singing. Because you married Courtney to me. And Hollywood Wade did a lot of great stuff too. And there's another guy too. There's other people. Shout out to Cinemills TV. There's other people involved. It's a team effort. Okay? And they needed me. I was the hammer. I'm the hammer. I'm the hammer of the drums. Exactly. So, yeah, we can ask whatever we want, go through the history. I'm here to pick up the Courtney Burgess today. And anybody that wants to say anything, say it to me.
Yeah, we had caught him about 3 days ago, and then he was in court, and then he was all over headline news here in the UK.
Yeah.
And I imagine they're probably kind of restricting him from saying things now, do you think?
Well, I mean, Ariel Mitchell may possibly be my attorney. I know Ariel, and she's a baller. And Courtney's a baller. And all the people that are on the right side of the track, like Jaguar, James, us, Allie Carter, these are the ballers. media who tries to portray us like, oh, what's this toxic crap you put out? Like, did you even do any research to know if this was real? First of all, before you start slicing my interviews at Inside Edition, do your job. Why are you sticking up for Sean Combs? What are you doing? Like, and then also they're talking about the family, and Courtney was nice enough to apologize to them. I don't think I was going to even apologize. For what? Because you put pictures on the book. It's about her. What do you want me to put on it? What do you want on the cover? He did the director's chair, as he describes later, because this is the puppet master. You sit in his lap or you don't get to play. Okay? So it's a fascinating story. This combo right here, this is the best, like, book celebrity scandal story in the last 20 years. Right here, in one swipe.
All right, let's go over it a bit more slowly than what happened since I last spoke to you. So you came on, the story broke, the book went to #1 on Amazon worldwide.
And it'd still be #1. It would still be #1 if they didn't violate our civil rights. And there's 7 books up on Amazon right now with Kim's picture and using my font. They're using the same font, the same tag, the same coloring. What are you doing? What are you doing? You're violating Kim's rights, First Amendment, civil rights. Why can't she tell her story? Why? Does it hurt Albie Shore's feelings? Like, so anyway, but yeah, go on. I'm hot today. I'm hot.
All right, good. We like that. We like that. So we saw before the book got taken down, there was a reaction from the kids, and some other people reacted, saying it was BS. And then Amazon took it down. So when you saw this reaction from the kids and these other big names, what was your thoughts?
When I first came out and we did Rolling Stone, Vanity Fair, and Daily Mail, and I didn't know what was going to happen. Let's be honest. You're riding a wave, right? It's like a 100-foot perfect storm wave. You're riding it. You don't know if you're going to fall off. You're going to stay on as long as you can. Okay? When I knew people were going to come out. I'm stupid. I knew people were starting to say it's fake. So I waited. The family came out. Albie Shore came out. Nobody else did. Whereas Will Smith didn't come out. Jay-Z didn't come out. None of those other people. Where's Mary J. Blige? She didn't come out. Kadada Jones didn't come out. Nobody. Where's Snoop? He didn't come out. Like, so it's fine. I've done this before. I know there's going to be people that are upset. Okay? So the book was a success. People were inspired by it. They're doing full blogs. They're reading it. They're putting pictures to the chapters. They're like investing. It's giving them hope to tell Kim's story. For a black woman who was abused, to tell her story. They're getting to touch her. That's the magic of why I book. We made $0. Zero. So nobody talks about money. Don't tell me anything about just looking for a bag. Don't say a word. We make nothing. We don't know if we'll ever make anything. We've been frozen. Okay? So now there's a lot of new stuff. It's evolved because Courtney and Ariel came forward. The TMZ, the News Nation, got that word out. And I think it helps validate these are the flash drives. Kim took them from there. She did.
As we get more details in the court cases, that also validates, because it's like, how could all this stuff be put into a book, and then in the future, court cases come out saying the exact same stuff?
Right. In the future, the book was written years ago. It was written before she died. Before she was unalive. And I'm going to officially request an investigation into her unalive. Tell you that right now.
We'll get to that.
Yeah.
So when I heard these people reacting, and I heard the kids reacting, and I could understand after reading the book myself that if you're a kid, you don't want to think about your mama in these situations. Your brain's going to shut down and say, this is BS. I can't accept this. And you are going to speak out. I can understand the motivation as to why they would say that. And it didn't, to me, that what they said didn't take away from the authenticity. It was just a knee-jerk, visceral reaction. Because it's
But
so
people would-
descriptive.
What they have to understand too is when your father or mother is a celebrity and they're famous, they touch the world.
In traversing other
They're
worlds,
part
I
of
came
the
to know
world.
of the
They're,
treasure chest
yes,
in this area.
if that was my mother and I read, of course. But remember,
I know the
there's
ways,
millions,
so no
almost
chance.
maybe a billion people that know who Sean Combs and Kim Porter are. They're in a home, like the Kardashians. You feel like you know them. I grew up with them. I watched all their shows. I feel like I know Kourtney Kardashian, even though I don't know it, right? This is what they make millions of dollars from. This is the lifestyle that they're given, and that's a curse too. It is. I mean, I'm not even really a famous guy. I get a lot of crazy hate mail, stalker stuff. I'm not even that famous. Like, imagine that. Imagine what they have to do. So I do empathize with them, absolutely. No one has a right to stalk you and say crazy stuff. You don't have a right to do it. I don't care how famous you are. Let them live their life. But my point is, so they've got, and they're young, their friends are young, they're in high school. They're like seniors in high school, I believe. Okay? And even Christian's young. And Quincy's kind of young, he's a young man. So we get it. And that's why Courtney apologized to them. He did. When he said it on
These
TV.
feeds are only
I'm
truly
sorry.
tormented when their
Sorry
spouses
he did
attached
that.
to the opera pair.
He can't speak for Chris Todd though. I'm not fully sorry. Because I'm sticking up for Kim Porter. If that's what you wanted to come out, just let it fly. And we'll clear the smoke after.
Got a question from Manuel, and it is, why do you think Kim's personal family, mom, dad, brothers, sisters, haven't spoken up about the book? It was only the kids.
Jake Porter is still alive. Kim's mother has passed on. I've heard different things about Jake Porter, like he doesn't want to talk about it. And also remember, the family's very tied to Sean Combs. This is their blood. So they're in a tough spot. I don't know really what they can do because Sean will still have money. They can't freeze all his assets. He didn't make money illegally. He made a lot of money legally. So they can't take all his money. So if I was Jake Porter and the family too, I'd be treading water gently too. I wouldn't be just rushing out, coming after Chris Todd. Anybody that comes after me, if they really do their history, they know like you're playing with fire. Like you don't even want to engage me. Just let me do what I'm doing, right? And if there's something down the road, you want to have a conversation with me, absolutely. You can call me. I'll talk to you anytime. But there's you got to take it step by step. It's a mission. And look, we took the world by storm. We really did. They're still doing it. The girl Rotten Mango. We just did a whole thing about it. She had 2 million views in one day or 5 days. Talking about me. News Nation constantly talks about me. Okay? And it's okay. But I'm saying, anyway, it's the whole backstory. But
So Manuel sent a follow-up question. Why was it only Courtney was called up to the grand jury subpoena and they didn't call you up?
they probably will. I don't know. They haven't contacted me yet. I've worked with the FBI before. I worked with DEA. I worked with LAPD robbery homicide. They know where I'm at. There's no hiding. I don't have the tapes. Whether they know that or not, I don't know. I don't have them. I said that on record the other day. I did 2 other little quick interviews. I don't have them. I've never seen them. To be honest with you, I wanted to. Courtney wouldn't show them to me.
Huge appreciation to Chris Todd for coming back for a second part. If you remember, it's about 6 weeks ago when he came on, talked about Kurt Cobain, but he was about to enter the epicenter of the storm that we have seen him have been a co-author of and a first credit in the author. I would describe as an engineer in this situation. His book that became the #1 selling book in the world on Amazon.
situation.
became
Church
banned by
Office Books
Amazon.
became the number
There
one
was cease
selling
and
book in the
desist.
world on Amazon.
There has been
It became
insane
banned by
action.
Amazon.
There's
There
been
was
so
cease and
much.
desist.
I cannot
There has
even
been insane legal
encompass it all in the
action.
introduction to Crystal, but I'm
There's
going to
been
go
so
over it much more
much.
slowly
I cannot
in
even
the coming interview.
encompass it
Yeah,
all in the
I know
introduction to
loads of
Crystal,
people
but I'm
sent
going to go
questions
over
in
it much more
today.
slowly
We're going to
in
get
the
to
coming
them.
interview.
And,
Yeah, I know loads
have
of
you
people
sent any
sent
links you
questions
want
in
us to share,
today.
Chris, as well?
We're going to get to that.
This stuff's out there. They can just forward me if they want.
Have you sent any links you want to share, Chris, as well?
I'm gonna read some of this
My
today.
stuff's out there.
This
They
is
can
the
just come
system
find me if they
Sean
want.
Combs in
I
jail.
was just waving around.
Nobody's ever
I'm
seen
going
it.
to read some of this today. This
So
is
we
Wow.
have some fun
Sean
today.
Combs in jail.
All right. Chris, I think it's about 6 weeks ago when we spoke. Can you take us just slowly through the sequence of events that happened after the interview?
Yeah, I mean, we're talking obviously about Diddy and the book, right? So we're talking about Kim's lost words. This is the final proof. I don't even have a copy because our book was pulled down, so I don't even have it anymore. Obviously, I have the master digitally, but so Kim's lost words made a big stink, a lot of drama. And we sold a lot of copies. They pulled it down. It's the most controversial book in the world. Right now, bar none, is the most controversial book. And now that the cat's out of the bag, that Warren Burgess has come forward, partly because of me, partly because of himself, partly for Kim, and a lot of other moving parts with Ariel Mitchell. This was the book. This is the original book. And Courtney pressed up this book from Kim and the source, which we can hit that today. I'm not going to reveal the source, but you guys are getting one step closer to the big cheese, the big enchilada. Because now you've seen Courtney come out, now you get to touch him. There he is. And I had to protect him for a long time. But we don't need to have too much backstory about why he came forward. I think he's upset that people didn't believe him. I think that people are upset they didn't believe that Tim Porter wrote the book. And we took a bashing in the media. And today I'll talk about some of the reporters, but we're trying to be cool about it. But you guys want to say something? Say it to me. Come say it to me. Mark Garrett goes, come say it to my face. Come say that Kim made it up and that Courtney's fake was smart. So, these people, these mainstream media that have tried to silence you for years, ain't happening. So we beat you. We already beat you. And we'll beat you again. You're not real journalists. You're not. You're not investigators. So anyway, get off that real quick. This became this. This is highly explosive. I do not want it to be released. I don't. And if he tries to put it out, I'm going to stop it. If anybody tries to put this out, which they already kind of did online, they're already reading it, I'm going to stop you. Because this is fire. I edited a version and I put a couple things in here to help Kim and to help the celebrities. This thing burns the forest down. So, yeah. So, we're not putting the book back up. Eventually, down the road, as I pull Albie Short's chapter out of the book, chapter 5, it's gone. So, yeah, we'd like to someday polish her face, and I'd like to, whether it's a movie or, I'd like to do a scripted movie. I don't care about the documentary. Everybody and their mother's got a documentary about it. There's nothing original there. Nothing. So, they even did this. Look, when they first did that book. They made t-shirts. When you ordered the book, they sent you a t-shirt. It came together. And they tried to do it, but I told them they needed me. I'm the key. I'm the whistleblower. I have the history of it. And they knew that. And now it's all singing. Because you married Courtney to me. And Hollywood Wade did a lot of great stuff too. And there's another guy too. There's other people. Shout out to Cinemas TV. There's other people involved. It's the team effort. Okay? And they needed me. I was the hammer. I'm the hammer, I call it sometimes. I'm the hammer of the gods. Exactly. So, yeah, we can ask whatever we want, go through the history. I'm here to stick up for Courtney Burgess today. And anybody that wants to say anything, say it to me.
Yeah, we had Courtney on about 3 days ago, and then he was in court, and then he was just all over headline news here in the UK. And I imagine they're probably kind of restricting him from saying things now, do you think?
Well, I mean, Ariel Mitchell may possibly be my attorney also. I know Ariel, and she's a baller. And Courtney's a baller. And all the people that are on the right side of the tracks, like Jaguar Gene, us, Allie Carter, these are the ballers. The media who tries to portray us like, oh, this is toxic crap you put out. Like, did you even do any research to know if this was real? First of all, before you start slicing my interviews and inside edition, do your job. Why are you sticking up for Sean Combs? What are you doing? Like, and then also we're talking about the family, and Courtney was nice enough to apologize to them. I don't think I would even apologize. For what? Because you put Kim's picture on the book? It's about her. How do you want me to put on your cruise ship? What did you want on the cover? He did the director's chair, as he describes later, because this is the puppet master. You sit in his lap or you don't get to play. Okay? So it's a fascinating story. This combo right here, this is the best, like, book celebrity scandal story in the last 20 years. Right here, one swipe.
All right, let's go over it a bit more slowly on what happened since I last spoke to you. So you came on, the story broke, the book went to #1 on Amazon worldwide.
And it'd still be #1. It would still be #1 if they didn't violate our civil rights. There's 7 books up on Amazon right now with Kim's picture and using my fonts. They're using the same font, the same tag, the same coloring. What are you doing? What are you doing? You're violating Kim's rights. First Amendment civil rights. Why can't she tell her story? Why? Does it hurt Albie Shore's feelings? Like, sorry, but yeah, go on. I'm hot today. I'm hot.
All right, good. We like that. We like that. So we saw before the book got taken down, there was a reaction from the kids, and some other people reacted, saying it was BS, and then Amazon took it down. So when you saw this reaction from the kids and these other big names, what was your thoughts?
When I first came out, and we did Rolling Stone, Vanity Fair, and Daily Mail, and I didn't know what was going to happen. Let's be honest. You're riding a wave, right? It's like a 100-foot perfect storm wave. You're riding it. You don't know if you're going to fall. You're going to stay on as long as you can. Okay? When I knew people were going to come out. I knew people were starting to say fake. So I waited. The family came out. Albie Shore came out. Nobody else did. Will Smith didn't come out. Jay-Z didn't come out. None of those other people. Where's Mary J. Blige? She didn't come out. Adana Jones didn't come out. Nobody. He didn't come out. Like, so it's fine. I've done this before. I know there's going to be people that are upset. Okay? So the book was a success. People were inspired by it. They're doing full blogs. They're reading. They're putting pictures to the chapters. They're like investing. It's giving them hope to tell Kim's story. For a black woman who was abused, to tell her story. They're getting to touch her. That's the magic of what I did. We made $0. Zero. So nobody talks about that. Don't tell me anything about the looking for a bag. Don't say a word. We made no. We don't know if it was a bag. We've been frozen. Okay? So now there's a lot of new stuff. It's evolved because Courtney and Ariel came forward. the TMZ, the News Nation, got that word out, and I think it helps validate these are the flash drives. Kim took them from me. She did. She took them.
As we get more details in the court cases, that also validates, because it's like, how could all this stuff be put into a book, and then in the future, court cases come out saying the exact same stuff?
Right. In the future, the book was written years ago. Years. It was written before she died. Unfortunately, it's on the line. And I'm going to officially request an investigation into her life. I'll tell you that right now.
We'll get to that.
Yeah.
So when I heard these people reacting, and I heard the kids reacting, and I could understand after reading the book myself that if you're a kid, you don't want to think about your mama in these situations. Your brain's going to shut down and say, this is BS. I can't accept this. And you are going to speak out. And I can understand the motivation as to why they would say that. And it didn't, to me, that what they said didn't take away from the authenticity. It was just a knee-jerk, visceral reaction. It's so descriptive.
What they have to understand too is when your father or mother is a celebrity and they're famous, they touch the world. They're part of the world. Yes, that was my mother and I was the horse. But remember, there's millions, almost maybe a billion people that know who Sean Combs and Kim Porter are. They're in our homes. Like the Kardashians. You feel like you know them. I grew up with them. I watched all their shows. I feel like I know Kourtney Kardashian, even though I don't know, right? This is what they make millions of dollars from. This is the lifestyle that they're given, and it's a curse too. It is. I mean, I'm not even really a famous guy. I get a lot of crazy email, stalker stuff. I'm not even famous. Like, imagine that. That's what they have to do. So I do empathize with them. Absolutely. No one has a right to stalk you and say crazy stuff. You don't have a right to do it. I don't care how famous they are. Let them live their life. But my point is, so if guys, and they're young, their twins are young, they're in high school, like seniors in high school, I believe. Okay? And even Christian's young. And Quincy's kind of young. He's a young man. So we get it. And that's why Courtney apologized to them. He did. When he said it on tape. I'm sorry. Sorry he did that. He can't speak for Chris Todd. I'm not for it. Because I'm sticking up for Kim Porter. If that's what she wanted to come out, just let it fly. And we'll clear the smoke after.
Got a question from Manuel, and it is, why do you think Kim's personal family, mom, dad, brothers, sisters, haven't spoken up about the book? It was only the kids?
Jake Porter is still alive. Kim's mother has passed on. I've heard different things about Jake Porter, like he doesn't want to talk about it. And also remember, the family's very tied to Sean Combs. This is their blood. So they're in a tough spot. I don't know really what they can do because Sean will still have money. He can't freeze all his assets. He didn't make money illegally. He made a lot of money legally. So they can't take all his money. So if I was Jake Porter on the family too, I'd be treading water gently too. I wouldn't be just rushing out, coming after Chris Todd. Anybody that comes after me, if they really do their history, they know like you're playing with fire. Like you don't even want to engage. Just let me do what I'm doing, right? And if there's something down the road, run a conversation with me, absolutely. You can call me. I'll talk to you anytime. But there's kind of, you gotta take it step by step. It's a mission. And look, we took the world by storm. We really did. We're still doing it. The girl Rotten Mango. She just did a whole thing about it. She had 2 million views in one day. Or 5 days. Talking about me. News Nation constantly talks about me. Okay? And it's okay. But I'm saying, anyway, it's a whole backstory, but.
So Manuel sent a follow-up question. Why was it only Courtney was called up to the grand jury subpoena and they didn't call you up?
They probably will. I don't know. They haven't contacted me yet. I've worked with the FBI before. I worked with DEA. I worked with LAPD robbery homicide. They know where I'm at. There's no hiding. I don't have the tips. Whether they know that or not, I don't know. I don't have them. I said that on record the other day. I did 2 other little quick interviews. I don't have them. I've never seen them. To be honest with you, I wanted to. Courtney wouldn't show them to me. And that's probably to protect me, right? Because if the celebrities are, I believe they're of age. I do. I'm gonna correct Courtney right now. Justin Bieber is not 15 in the video that he's talking about. He's 22 years old.
Which video was that? Was that the one in the gym, or was that where he was compromised?
They're talking about Atlanta when he's partying with Courtney. Happy birthday, Justin. And he's putting on the varsity jacket. He's not 15 years old. He's like 22. I believe he turned 26. It's 2016. He was born in 1994. He's 30 years old today. He's born in March, I think. Okay? So he was turning 22. So I think it was 2016. So he's not a minor. Courtney doesn't know. Courtney, I want to say something about Courtney real quick. Because that's my boy. Oh my God. Courtney is not an investigator. He's not a whistleblower. Not a cop. Not a lawyer. Not a judge. Music producer. So remember that. When people say, oh, I don't understand what you're saying, he's talking perfectly. He's a great guy. He's a very artistic guy. He did Hail Mary for Tupac. Look it up. He's a producer for Hail Mary. He's talking about Nelly's song. Got a text from Courtney B from New Jersey. He's talking, that's him. He's a part of our culture. You just don't know it. He's not Chris Cox. That's why once we merge together, and we merge this to this, right? This is, that's what it is.
People are asking, what is your qualifications and work history for you to get into this position?
Just Google me. Google Chris Todd O.J. Simpson. Chris Todd murder. Just look me up. Look at my stories. Zodiac, Natalie Wood, Biggie, Tupac. Okay, John Benet Ramsey. Someday I will be a household name. You will know me. They're trying to stop me. They're always trying to stop me.
So if you were asked for a job title presently, what would it be?
I'm an investigator. And then,
And what is that?
okay, first I'm an investigator. Not a PI, not a licensed PI. I'm an investigator. Then I'm a journalist, author, and producer. But first, I investigate unaliveness. That's what I do. That's how I ended up with this. All my clients have been unalive, or they've disappeared. I did Delphi. Look up beyond Delphi. I wrote the first book. Caused a big storm on that. And it ain't over. It's not. We're going away from you pretty soon, too, on that.
Alright, we've got 3,000 watching live right now with Chris Todd, and you may have seen him come up on the channel 6 weeks ago. We're going through the chronology of events that have happened since he last came on. In the eye of the storm of the biggest selling book, most controversial book in the world, and oh boy, is it a story. He's been news headlines here consistently in the UK. Courtney has as well, and he is expanding on this trajectory of what's happened. So we were at the point now where the kids spoke out. They said it was BS. I said I can understand that reaction. Didn't hear about the money doing that kind of stuff. How did Amazon then contact you? Did they have to give you like a reason as to why they take it down, like a legal reason or anything? What happened? What happened?
So, Amazon, you don't have an issue with Amazon right now. They're doing nice stuff. They usually communicate via email. There's not a, you don't call them. You don't call Amazon. They send us a couple letters saying, hey, we got a complaint from somebody that's threatening to sue us. We told you in our user agreement, defamation, copyright infringement, you could be liable for legal fees, right? And we said, okay, we understand. We took Kim's picture off. They asked us to, so we did. We complied. They asked us, they said, we're going to take your book down. We complied. And we didn't say anything about it. We didn't deal anything. We didn't sue them. We did nothing. And now we wait. And that's it. And I've already told them we're not putting it back up. So we've already said that. And we've already told Albie Shore and his lawyer. We have a good rapport with them. We've already said, made a small offer to them, like, I don't need money. We made an offer to them, to Al, to make an apology, to pull him out of the book. If we ever down the road get it, he's out of the book, right? Give him our word. But nobody owns Kim Porter. Not Amazon, not Albie Shore, not me, not Galfly. And also, I will say this too, I did write some of the book. I'm gonna put that on the record. Because that's my book. So people need to know that now. I couldn't say that before, but I did.
Alright, just to clarify then, your book's up there, it's the number one selling book in the world. Amazon received legal letters, we're assuming, because you've not seen those legal
From
letters.
Albie Shore.
Did they tell you that, Amazon?
Yes. Well, we get them at the same time. We get the same letter that Amazon got.
So it was just that was it was just the one legal party contacted Amazon, there was no more parties involved.
Sean Paul sent me a cease and desist that I've never shown anybody from jail.
How many days into the book being published and going viral was that cease and desist
This
given?
How many days into the book
date's like
being published
September
and going
24th,
viral?
so within 3 weeks, pretty fast. Oh, for when it went viral, like within days. This is right away. I sat on it. People Magazine asked me to publish it. I wouldn't do it until I blocked my stories. So I told them to kick rocks. So I'm going to read some of this for you exclusively today.
Do you want to do that now or later on?
I can say some of it right now. And this proves that Sean knows those flash drives. Okay.
Go for it.
I'll read some of it too. Unlawful statements concerning Sean Foley. How do they know they're unlawful? Because I said what? That Kim was on the live? You need to be careful, because I'm the best investigator in the world. And if I find out he was, we write on behalf of my client, dear Mr. Todd. We write on behalf of our Kim Porter memoir that you self-published in September. Your memoir is riddled with fabrication. Oh, is it? How do you know? You don't. And inaccuracies. Really? What's inaccurate about it? That are obviously calculated to smear Mr. Cohen's name and reputation. He's undefamable. Do you not understand? The client is Lucifer. You can't defame him. So I quote you called Lucifer. When you authored and published the fake memoir, you knew or had reason to know that it was not drafted by Ms. Porter. And that it does not reflect any intention by Ms. Porter to spread falsehoods concerning her, Mr. Cohen, her family, or any other person. Your publication is injurious and unlawful. False. That's a lie. You want to go to court with that? Go ahead. That's not what Sean Cohen. If I'll get his phone, I'll get all your stuff. I'll get all of his stuff. I'll get his computer. Go ahead. I'll get everything. I'll get all the witnesses. I'll get all the stuff. I'll put the phone. Go ahead. He knows. I'll get all the witnesses. I'll subpoena Sean. I'll put the post on. Go ahead.
Sorry,
Let's get to the juice. While we're talking about OJ. Let's get to the juice. This Electra's Instagram post is in clear acknowledgement that any claim Ms. Porter drafted a manuscript is false. Oh, really? She knows? She has a question? Does she? Courtney Burgess does. Not you. The law of all states, okay, but not limited to California, liable for defamation.
Of all states,
This is the best
but not
quote.
limited to California, liable for
Albie Shore has
defamation.
expressly denied, among other things, about what Hitler said
Albie
about him.
Shore
I'll just say that.
expressly denied, among other things,
All the statements in the memoir are entirely false. And your publication of these, among other falsehoods, constitutes defamation. Well, guess what, Michael Tremonte?
among other falsehoods,
I can prove they're actually
well,
real.
guess what,
So let's do it.
Michael Tremonte?
Come to me.
I can
Let's do
prove
it.
they're actually real.
I'm taking a page out of John McClure right here.
Come to me.
Sorry, Jeff, I don't need to get so.
Taking a page out of John McClure right here.
Here's the last part. This is going to be good.
You're brilliant how you do it. I do it.
For the reasons discussed above, we hereby demand that you immediately retract the fake
For the reasons
camcorder
discussed above, we
memory
hereby demand
and provide to us a forensic image
fake camcorder
of the
memory.
purported flash drive
Provide to
on
us
which the
a
manuscript was
forensic
found,
image
together with a
of the
sworn
purported
affidavit
flash drive
identifying all persons
on which the
to
manuscript
whom
was
this
found,
order
together
allegedly
with
entrusted
a
the
sworn
flash
affidavit
drive and
identifying
detailing
all
how you purportedly came to possess it. Wait, I thought you said it was fake.
of the flash drive.
So why are you asking for the drive?
Purportedly came to
Because you
possess
know
it.
they're
Wait,
real.
I thought you said it was fake. So why are you asking for the drive? Because you know they're real.
Right, Tom. Here's the best part. So when Homeland Security kicked in Courtney Burgess's door,
Now here's the best part.
yeah,
So when Homeland
and they already got it.
Courtney Burgess's door,
So guess what, Michael Tremonte
yeah,
and Miss Garagos and Mr. Agnafilo,
Michael Tremonte,
you already got it. So go watch them yourself.
Arago,
I don't know what's on
Mr.
there.
Agnafilo,
What I hear, it's pretty damn salacious.
go watch them yourself. I don't know what's on
So if the feds have got them then,
pretty dang salacious.
they're taking it that seriously, they're kicking his door, doesn't that also authenticate the book?
Pretty much, yeah. If you have, look, I looked at the FBI before. I'm telling you straight up right now, the FBI does not listen to you. So if you call and say, this guy unalived somebody, they don't care. They don't do anything. Zero. The LAPD robbery homicide does that too. They don't listen to you. Now, if they saw something they discovered on their own, they'll look into it. So if Homeland Security came to Courtney's house, that means somebody with major power and clout. And I think I know who it is. I do.
People want to clarify the sequence of events of how this information got from Kim to you, the nature of the drives, etc.
The big cheese. You guys are so close. I can't say the name. Not yet. But I'm telling you right now. I'll say this. It's a woman. Okay? So at least I gave you 50% chance. Okay? This woman was close to Kim and Diddy and was courageous, but didn't want to get the smoke. So they gave it to Courtney. And Courtney had it for a while, for years. Okay? Years. Tried to do it gently without kind of ruining his own name in his own industry. Remember, this is their culture, this is their story, their job. Not me, I'm an investigator. I blast people every day. That's what I do. I kill killers. That's what I do. Read my book. So we put it in my hand. Yeah, I'm salivating. I'm like, let's go. To them, they couldn't do that. They had to do it very slowly. So we got the big cheese, the whale, and then that was given to Courtney. Courtney gave it to me. There was somebody else involved, and there was a guy, a great guy by the name of Hollywood Wade, that helped out. Because he had courage too. And there was somebody else. There were a couple other guys. These guys all knew each other. It was a fascinating story. How it got there. There's a story behind the story. There always is. So I'm kind of like that. Finishing hammer, like putting the nail in, but before the wood came in the nails and the permits. That happened before me. I had nothing to do with it. I just slammed in the last nails. So yeah, someday I think now look, if that celebrity source wants to come forward, they could. We can't stop them. But right now they don't want to, and they don't want us to say their name. So we're not going to. But that's how it came, and it came like this. Courtney did the cover. Courtney did this. I believe it came to him. It came to him on a drive with photos, but he did a cover and the back. But he didn't print it on Amazon. He had printed it out like on a print cover. You know what I mean? And so if you wanted it, he had to physically hand it to you or mail it to you. That's why I told him, I said, no, you go to Amazon. A robot sends it all over the world. That's what you want. And that's what we want.
Yeah, on a recent podcast, you were holding up some of the photos. Is there any of those you can show the viewers?
Yeah, I mean, I can show you. And look, I mean, I don't know if he's old, new, I don't know if it's Ken, Courtney, I don't know. Like, I just, Courtney gets upset with me when I doubt something, but look, the cat's out of the bag, man. I'm an investigator. I don't believe all the sources. I don't know if every single thing in the book is true. People are corroborating some of it, though. So you just gotta roll the punches. Like that's Andre Harrell from Uptown, right? He helped start Sean. And some of these pictures are online in Google because I think they were leaked before, years ago. I think Courtney was leaking these. People know this one. He's like hugging from behind some executive. Some party goer. The one picture that, see, I removed all the pictures. Like Snoop Dogg holding hands with Diddy. Because I didn't want to show these. I didn't want to. I wanted just Kim to talk. This is Andre Harrell again with Diddy. This is supposedly right before Andre passed on. Like literally, like the day of or something weird. There's some significance to this picture that they really wanted me to put in. They got mad at me when I didn't put it in. There's some big stink about this photo. Now the other photo, the one that I really liked, I thought was like literally like the day of or something weird. There's some significance to this picture that they really wanted me to put in. They got mad at me when I didn't put it in. There's some big stink about this photo. That they really wanted me to put in. They got mad at me when I didn't put it in. There's some big stink about this photo. Now the other photo, the one that I really liked, that I thought was important, and that really hit home for me, is really Biggie, Sean Combs, and Snoop Dogg. That's the photo to me that shows how close Snoop Dogg was to Sean. Remember, there's a big East Coast, West Coast beef, right? Not here, Brady. And that's why Courtney's got something with Snoop. I don't know what it is. He's got some issue with Snoop Dogg. Something happened. Somebody tried to get Courtney before to hurt him years ago. So there's some history there. I told Courtney to just chill with that. Like, this book's about Kim. It's not about Snoop. And, people keep asking, who's X'd out in the book? It's kind of out of the bag. You guys can go look for yourself. I'm not going to say it. Just go look.
So you've raised something there that I'm fascinated by, the theory that Diddy manufactured the whole East Coast, West Coast beef. And as it escalated, Diddy became a co-conspirator or an enabler in the unaliving of Tupac and Biggie, just so he could profit.
So if you talk to Courtney, he has a different view than I do. So I differ with that. I believe that Sean Combs was not involved in the unaliving of Biggie Smalls at all. I do not. I know who unalived Biggie Smalls, and I can prove it. I've already proved it. I said I already did the interview. The Wikipedia won't print it.
Where the skeleton boards on every right.
Because they censor me. They just won't let me talk. So I did it with Cinemills TV. Go there and watch me talk about Biggie. Was Sean Combs involved in the unaliving of Tupac Shakur? Yes. He was. Because he was very close to KPD and Southside Crips. There was talk. You're not going to find a check. You're not going to find a fingerprint. I'm saying is Sean wanted help. That's known. Just go listen to Keith confess it to Greg Kading. It's on tape. Everybody stop. He already said it. Greg Kading did great work. He already did it. So I'm not saying they're going to pinch Sean for it, but, Sean was afraid of Suge and he was afraid of Tupac. He was. I would have been too. And if he says it in passing to Zip Martin and to Keithy and they say, man, we got to get rid of these fools. Can you take them to court and say that? Probably not. Probably not. Unless somebody wore a wire and you saw a transfer of money. The guy came forward in the Nick Broomfield documentary, remember? The British producer, Nick. They called him the accountant or something. And he was crying in the jail, saying, we moved monies. I saw David Mack and Sean talking. Come on, man. Everybody use your head. It's right in front of you. Okay? So, that's on the big, but I'm saying with the Tupac. And I think really Tupac's thing was a spontaneous thing. A lot of these people are like, oh, the conspiracy. No, okay, this is how I would say. What's the coincidence that if Orlando Anderson gets jumped at the MGM, right, and gets beat up, and then an hour later, he's firing off rounds at Tupac. How can you say there's a conspiracy? He just got jumped and embarrassed. He was mad. Keithy was there. Zip was there. Zip had a gun. He gave it to him. Keithy told you that. See, a lot of people, they don't want to believe people because they think they're shady characters. I'm telling you right now, from an investigator standpoint, you need to listen to everyone. And you sift it out after. Let them tell their story. Because they're not lying all the time. If KPD says, they used to call me KPD, is he lying? No. Dwayne Davis is my name. Is he lying? No. They don't always lie. Zip was there. And they had the phone call with Zip Martin and Keithy to Sean. And Faith was on the phone. Was that us? Was that us? Yeah. Because Tupac wasn't dead yet. They didn't know he wasn't dead. It was like the next day after the shooting. So they're a little looser talking about it. See, look, a lot of people are not investigators. I am. Let me do what I do, right? And I will show you magic.
So when you read Kim Porter's
not investigators. I am. Let me do what I do, right? And I will show you magic.
So when you read Kim Porter's words about the conspiracy, the murder conspiracy, did that just confirm what you were thinking, or did it add anything to it?
We're talking now about the potential unaliving.
Yes.
Okay, we're moving on to that world. All right, hold on one sec. I need to text someone that is just like a reporter. So I can stop right now.
Yeah, go for it. And people watching, we did an interview with Chris Todd about 6 weeks ago, and the link to that one, if you want to see it, is in the description box below this video on YouTube. And all hell broke loose right after that interview. There's over 4,000 watching live right now. I'm with Chris Todd, and you may have seen his book get reported all over the world news. Yeah, keep going.
So, all right, so moving on to this. Okay, in my book, Kim's book, my book version, I have put, one of the final wishes was for the memoir diary to be made public, a disclaimer, trying to help everybody, regarding Kim's sudden death and the mysterious illnesses of Albie Short and Jamie Foxx. Evidence does exist that points to foul play and or poisoning. There is. Period. End of story. Now, is there a conviction? I'm not a lawyer, I'm not a judge, and I'm not a cop, right? I can't arrest anybody. Right now, I am fully investigating Kim's unaliving. I know for a fact that Al B was poisoned. I can't say too much, I know for a fact he was. As for Jamie Foxx, you have to watch his little special that he's putting out. I do believe he was. If there's some smoking gun that comes out and he says, oh, I had an aneurysm, here's the medical records, here they are. Show me. And then I'll get off. But for now, I'm focused on Kim. And the guy recorded the LAPD detective. I don't know if you're supposed to, whatever. He did a great job. He's an interesting guy. He works with Gene Deal. I forgot his name. He recorded the police officer, the detective, the lead detective. That detective did not say anything that disproved that she was unalive. I'm going to tell you that right now. So, and I listened to the whole thing. There were a lot of people at that house when they showed up. There was a house full of people. That's bad. That's a bad scene. Now, obviously, somebody was there first with Kim. And they called the ambulance. Then the family was coming at the same time. So I get it. Like, the police didn't show up for like an hour or two. They didn't show up. Where's Kim's phone? Why didn't she have her phone with her? Where is it? Because you guys took it. Where's her computer? Because you took it. See, there's already shady things. What woman doesn't have her phone by her bedside? They stole it. And they wanted her, they knew she had it. I'm fine. I got a source coming forward right now that's woo-hoo, singing like a canary. It's gonna come out. It is. I'm not saying Sean's gonna get, like, they're gonna file charges. They're not gonna zoom Kim. I think she was very not cremated. She had a very fancy funeral too. I'm not saying that, but that's not what I do. I tell stories. Okay? And if I feel, I will tell that story. And if these people want to file a lawsuit against me, go for it. Go for it.
Yeah, we had Big Homie.cc on, and he was talking about the poisoning he experienced.
Yep.
And he was speculating about the unaliving through the pneumonia. Have you considered how they do this? What is the mechanism?
Now watch. This is interesting. Big Homie CC. Okay? I'm trying to reach out to him too. Let me tell you this.
I can arrange that.
I appreciate it. Cool. I was listening to your show with him or him somewhere else, and I was kind of like doing something else. Like I was just listening, and he goes, cyanide metabolizes into pneumonia. And just like one of these, like, when I did a little more research, I kind of knew this sort of. When I did a little more research, You might be right. It does destroy your lungs, and it can make your lungs bleed. That's weird. You know how easy it is to poison somebody? You just swipe it on their door handle of their car. Because the people, nobody grabs their door handle, do they? Because they ain't driving the car. So they just put the glove on, smear the cyanide or arsenic or thallium, things they used in rat poisons for years. Women killed their husbands like this. Just go take the glove, you smear it across, or their doorknob at their house, or their studio, at their music studio. It's not hard, and it works quickly. So, and also arsenic comes in we're not supposed to say some of these things, but arsenic comes in a gas, solid, and liquid form. And I don't want to say too much because we know that we have to be careful what we say. We already know there's a lot of injuries to people surrounding Sean Combs. End of story. We already know that. That's nothing weird I'm saying. If Big Homie CC says he had cyanide in his system, that's a problem. That's not normal. You're not supposed to have that. Okay, well, oh yeah, what is the apricot seeds? Like there's some naturally occurring things. You swallow a bunch of apricot seeds and grind them up and drink them, whatever, but I have to do more research into it. I've been just trying to deal with all this for now, that I haven't done the real Chris Todd thing for Kim Porter yet. And look, it's dangerous too. I'm not itching to do it, so I'm just kind of slowly, but I'm not Courtney will say a lot of things about Gaddafi, Fatal, Left Eye, Heavy D. Kim talks about Heavy D in the book. Shakir Stewart, Chris Lighty. To me, I'd have to look at each case one by one. There is some shady stuff about Shakir, absolutely. There is some shady stuff about Chris Lighty, absolutely. I'd have to really look at them though in my Chris Todd mode. I haven't done that yet. But when Courtney kind of shoots out, yeah, this happened, I'm slow down. We'll slow down. I don't just run with that stuff. So I'm not a conspiracy theorist. People keep calling me that, and this other guy, this rude jerk, you know who you are. I'm not even gonna plug your show's thing, because I sort of like you. I'm not a tabloid writer, so shut up. You don't know what you're talking about. I'm an investigator. I'm not a celebrity blogger. You're a nobody. And if you want to have me come on your show again, then do it, punk. He knows who I'm talking about. He's a punk. He calls me the white Jamal. You're a punk.
What do you make of Jamie Foxx's illness and his behaviour and statements since?
I had a reporter write to me and say, I think you're wrong, Chris, that he was not if we can't say that word, I don't even know. And I said, well, I think he was. So we have to wait till the Netflix special, because I guess he says something that he jokes about Diddy. So I have to see with my own eyes, I have to hear it and see it. But there's other sources came forward that said he joked about it in the show. I don't know if it was filmed. I don't know if it was behind the scenes. Maybe you guys know more than I do. This is how I do investigations. Let me just say this right now, and thank you for saying that, Tone Screamer. I'm going to tell you this straight up right now. You look at something and you follow the leads till they go cold. If there's some little lead that you can't get off, you keep going. You put the spotlight on them. I have the one lie rule that I talked about before. I give you one lie. After that, if you keep lying, you're guilty. I already know you are. I give you the one. But if you keep deceiving, like on John Bonet, like on Biggie, like on OJ, you give them one. But if it keeps going and it won't stop, that means there's deception. They're hiding something. Okay? So, yeah, until Jamie Foxx proves to me that did not happen, I'm still on.
Alright, another thing we're going to talk about is the 2 pages you pulled from the original book
Oh yeah, I'll read them right now. I'll do it right now for your people. Because your people are like saying cool things about me. Let's do it.
This points to the celebrity source, doesn't it? Yeah, let's stay away from the back page because we had trouble with YouTube last time.
I'll read it right now because they've already read it online. Some lady has, and I don't know. I don't want to stop her. I don't want to sue her. Whatever. Like, people are trying to tell the truth, so we'll see what happens. In 27, this is the page I removed. I removed the prologue and the epilogue. Because I wanted only Kim's voice to be heard. Because what I realized through my investigation was someone else wrote some of this book. And Courtney wouldn't tell me who. And Courtney wouldn't acknowledge it because he wanted to say, well, I didn't read it. That's fine. I get it. You're saying, like, hey, it's wrong. Just have it. Sounds good. I know you read most of it, probably. It's okay. But he wants to play a game. Let him. It's okay. That's part of the thing. They call it parting notes at the end. I would call it the epilogue. Okay? So, prologue's the beginning, right? And like, then you can see the beginning. So, I'm not going to read the whole ending, it's longer, but I can read part of it. I'll read you the opening, which is, I believe, the prologue. Yeah,
take your time, you're fine.
This is written by who wants to do it for Kim. In 2017, Kim Porter sent me her novel that she was diligently working on. Kim felt there were truths she had to disclose and didn't want to hide any longer. She acknowledged some of the secrets in her book were going to hurt several people, but she wanted Sean P. Diddy Combs taken down. And she had to tell her story to do it. I warned her Sean didn't care that she was the mother of his children, but she was tired of living in fear of him. I knew how it was going to go down. He was going to kill her. I just wish she would have listened because she was a good person. Kim made me promise that if something happened to her, I would make sure this book became public to the world. The way Sean moved, I knew that was a promise I would have to fulfill. Kim. Knew I was a woman of my word, and this book was going to make it to print. Her kids deserve to know the truth. I'm going to make sure her story gets told, and Kim wanted to quote unquote tell it all. Now, quote, this is supposedly from Kim. Quote, I don't know if I would be alive to see this book in print, but there are too many secrets. I can't remain silent anymore. So obviously she's quoting Kim, right? This is something either Kim had said to her, and she's saying Kim says that. Okay? Now going to the end, the back page, the back of it. Albie Shore revealed why he felt Kim was running from Sean. And initially everyone felt he was seeking attention. However, numerous comments and allegations are coming from multiple sources that just may prove his statements have validity. Kim Porter shared twins with Sean, and she was constantly battling to maintain custody of them. Kim was writing a book about her life with Sean that allegedly included abuse, infidelity, and numerous wrongdoings. In the alleged book, it is said Kim went into detail about everything that happened in her life with Sean, from physical and emotional abuse, wiretapping, being watched and followed by paid personnel, and only being able to maintain her twins because she threatened to expose him if he ever attempted to take them from her. It has long been speculated that Sean swings both ways. Kim Spacey required her to blank when they had intimacy. Kim also allegedly approached Andre Harrell, who misspells his name there, it's Andre Harrell, about Sean's intimacy with him, which he denied. However, it is rumored that she had evidence the two were more than just business friends. Allegedly, Kim had quite a bit of footage of Sean with numerous men validating the rumors that have been circulating for years. Sean had a reputation of publicly humiliating Kim, with other women bearing children, one even being pregnant at the same time. The world knew the Sean Kim Porter relationship was far from sweet and innocent. In fact, it was easily labeled as toxic. Kim's family has threatened to file a wrongful death lawsuit feeling natural causes were not the reason for her death. Numerous exposés have questioned the cause of death and the location of her body when she was found. Kim had pneumonia and was said to have died peacefully in her sleep, but it's been said there was blood found on her pillowcase and on the bathroom floor leading to her bedroom. Allegedly, Kim was found unresponsive in her bed, but she was discovered on the bathroom floor. So the question remains who placed her in the bed. Reports from the original coroner supposedly said there were toxicants found in Kim's system and they suspected foul play. An anonymous person said Kim's last phone call was to 911 at around 2:40 a.m. and she was found the next morning at 11 a.m. Now, supposedly, there was that she did call. I have a source saying that she did call the ambulance. And I don't know where the call is. I don't know what happened. I don't know if it's on it, or she just dropped right there. I don't know. I'm going to read this. I've never read this to anybody. And I don't think they want me to, but I'm going to do it anyway. The source wrote a final statement speaking as if she was Kim. So it's in quotes. And this is for Kim Porter. My name is Kimberly Porter. I was born in Columbus, Georgia on December 15, 1970. I passed away from pneumonia and other complications unknown on November 15, 2018 in Los Angeles, California. It seems as if my death was shrouded by mystery and possibly suspicious motives. Did I die from pneumonia? That's for you, Kim.
A lot of people are asking about Corey Gamble.
He has, I guess he's Diddy's cousin. I've been told he's a blood relative of Sean. I don't know if that's true. Someone should look it up. Obviously, he was Justin Bieber's tour manager, I believe. He was at the house when Kim was found. I'm not accusing him of anything. I don't know much about him. I know he's married. I believe he's married to Kris Jenner, right? So, a lot of people say a lot of stuff about him. I don't really have anything to say about him. I know he was there. I know he was friends with Kim and Diddy and Bieber, and obviously he's a well-connected guy. I am looking to find out what happened to Kim. Whether whoever it is, and look, like I said, I can't arrest anybody. It's just about the truth, you know.
So earlier you referenced like Snoop and Jay-Z, etc. You know, does that mean they're like implicated in these drives?
You know, obviously, like Jaguar says his name a lot. Okay, that's her thing. I don't say ever his name. In Kim's book, she talks about the two Seans. Okay, so she's talking about Sean Carter and Sean Combs. Okay, I don't know their whole history. I'm not accusing. I've never seen anything with Jay-Z on anything. I've never accused him or Beyonce of anything. I don't accuse Oprah of anything. I never have. I've never said their name. I focus on Sean Combs. So.
Last time we spoke, you told me to watch Jonathan Oldie's interview, and I've watched it several times since. And you said it held the key to many things. What did you mean by that?
Because he was saying this years ago. He said this stuff before, and you know who else? You know who else is important? Mace, the rapper, he was saying this too. And nobody believed him. And when Jonathan Odie came off crazy, shooting up I get it, he did, came off kind of crazy. Talking about the boule, and the black fraternity, and, but listen to him. He's talking about Cassie. He's talking about, how does he know that? This is years ago. And so, yeah, that's what I'm trying to tell you as an investigator. You're not going to believe everything everybody says, but you got to listen. You have to listen. There's something in there that's truthful. And those police did an amazing job of letting him talk. It wasn't even related to his case. It has nothing to do with him shooting up the Trump hotel. They just let him talk. It's almost like they were curious. This is what God does. We are all puppets to God. All of us have our own little play that we're in, or the character that we're playing. And Jonathan Odie, now they're looking for him. Is he alive? It's this whole thing with him. I don't know. Maybe he wants to come forward and talk more, or I don't even know if he's alive. I don't know.
Yeah, he's been in court recently. He's still incarcerated. And I think he wants, he's facing big time for the shooting. And I think that
he shot at police. He did. That's right.
he ended up getting apprehended with, I think he was shot twice in the legs.
Yeah.
And they caught him. But there was a point where he was really talking about Diddy. And the cop stopped him and says, look, I want to know about you, what's going through your head. I think he was going to say a lot more.
Yeah, probably. When you come out, and I guess he was a male actor, right? He was like a X-rated male actor. Doesn't that make sense now when we read the lawsuits from Cassie? Doesn't it make sense that she's saying it? That she was forced into these things with men that were paid. Like we said, we won't say the term, but human transportation, right? So it's fact. This is the biggest scandal story in Hollywood history. It is bigger than Weinstein. It is probably bigger than Epstein. I'm telling you, it is. We can do that another time. It's bigger. It's more farther reaching to normal people. There's a lot there. The New York Post has footage of the freak offs right now. They haven't shown them. They have them. Steve Helling. I'll say his name. I don't care. So the guy doesn't block me. So I'll say your name. So show it, Steve. Show the footage of that. Show it.
A lot of people are asking who are the X's in the book.
I don't want to say it here. You can find out if you do some homework. Someone basically read this book online. I'll let them do it and go find it.
And you've spoke about the origin of the name Christian for one of the kids. Could you expand on that for the viewers?
Yeah, in Kim's book, she says, when she talks about kind of voodoo, and we say SRA, right? You said that code would be SRA. That she was either feeling that energy, right? And was either maybe part of it at times, too. Because she's one of the closest people to Sean, we know that. She's kind of a gatekeeper. Okay? And maybe she was involved in some of that stuff. I'm not going to outrule that. I'm not. And that's part of her story. So she mentions in that chapter, I'm going to name this child a very Christian name, like biblical. And so she names him Christian.
And you think that Kim couldn't say what she fully was aware of because she was there and it would have implicated her?
Correct. Absolutely. Yeah. You have to understand, as a whistleblower or an investigator with whistleblowers, like I did on some of my other cases, a lot of the whistleblowers are the unalived, or the accomplices, or the witnesses, or the accessories, right? Accessory means you help someone before, during, or after. Anytime that's an accessory, that's a felony. So I believe, and I think, look, to be honest, through my more research and trying to really understand Kim Porter, is I really feel that she's not Hemingway, she's not Jack Kerouac, She's not a writer in that sense of the word, right? So these were pieces, basically, of her memories. She maybe wrote some of it years ago. Then she sat on it. Then she hid it. Then maybe Sean hit her, and it made her get mad again. That's how you write something of this length, covering 30 years. That's how you do it. Now, I believe she did write the last week of her life. I think she did. I don't know if she typed it in or hand wrote it and then hid it and made the phone call to you know who, the source, and said, here's where it's going to be. Here's where it is. And you come get it when you can, or when you can get it. I'll bury it in the backyard or put it in the freezer, whatever, right? Something like that. Because I think she is writing at the last moment. I think she knew something was up. I do. And so it's a little sporadic, the writing and stuff. She did a great job. And like I told, it's a little sporadic, the writing and stuff. She did a great job. And like I told,
Strike fast, like shoes, and our quarry shall fall. I will finish it, here and now. 'Tis a folk worthy compassion. Thoughts say how effective. That looks promising. Any ideas as to how we might reach it?
Amazon, and like I told
Into the distance.
Al's team,
Scenery
she has a right to tell a story, just like everybody else in Hollywood does, just like James Patterson does, just like James Joyce did, just like all the great writers did, okay? And the great directors and producers, she has the same right that you guys do, okay? So, and I know it's hard to hear, and it's salacious, and it's violent, and that's what Hollywood does. So those are some of the greatest stories. They are the darkest stories.
We've got a question here pertaining to the enormity of the story from Gerald. Do you think the DOJ took on the case due to the global implications of those involved and its impact?
Do you think DOJ took on the case? I believe the U.S. Attorney, which is what he's talking about, Department of Justice, U.S. Attorney, Southern District of New York, Damian Williams, right? I believe that's his name. I hope I get it right. I think there was compounding evidence that they had to act. I think they knew about him. Remember, these big agencies, especially federal, they don't just move right away. They'll take years. If you look up Stone, Donnie Prospect, right? He was undercover for 6 years in the mafia. They didn't just jump on him. They let it build and build, because when they do it, they got me. They got me. So I believe Cassie most likely came forward to them before her lawsuit for her protection, to make sure she did not get unalived. And I believe Little Rod probably did too, and I know there's other people that did too. So there were people that came forward to FBI, Homeland Security, U.S. Attorney, DOJ, whatever you want to call it. I'll be sure to try to go to them too. He tags them in his tweets, in his Instagram. He's asking for their help. So yeah, they have plenty to act, and they do.
But several people are asking if the book is available to get now.
Nope. And I'm telling right now, I already told Courtney he's got to take it down. They're trying to put up some website. I don't even know what it is. Dot thing, tell it all. I'm gonna take it down. I don't want it out. Because we need Amazon and us to just now, to just get, you know, and I worked really hard. I spent a lot of money in my career to get where I'm at. I risked my safety for this. Yeah, I want the money from Amazon. I'm sorry, I do. Okay? And there's other people that I have as consultants that I owe to, not just me. And I do want to establish something in Kim's name, like a scholarship to college, like in her name, like of a victim or a child victim, right? That can go to college, or that can go to junior college, or to buy them a car, or to help them get a job, right? In her name. So, yes, after all that smoke clears, who knows when that'll be? Yes, eventually, probably you could get a copy of this minus Al's chapter.
So a lot of people are asking about whether you fear for your personal safety.
Yes.
Has anyone threatened you? Any calls or anything?
Yeah, I've had some. My thing is this too. You know, with the grace of God, I was given an opportunity. I do what God asked me to do, and that's it. Whatever happens, happens. I can't control everything. I'm vigilant. I have people that are here with me that are armed. I have protections in place. And I've done other mafia stories, and I got some of those guys with me too that help me. So it's not just the easiest thing, but to roll up on me. But we don't need to. We're just telling the story. We're telling the truth. Nobody needs to risk their safety or their freedom for Sean Collins. I'm telling you right now, just let him go. Let him go.
You're getting asked, why did Albie Shaw request his chapter be removed?
Because Kim, and I was going to remove it, I X'd out the stuff in there, the details that she said. So I don't know why Kim wrote it. I don't know if it's true. It might be true, it might not be. Al says it's not true, so if we have to believe him. Did Kim do it to scorn him? I don't know. Was she mad at Al for some reason? I don't know. We're going to have to find out, but I did remove his chapter.
All right, we've got almost 5,500 watching live. We've got 20 minutes left till the next show. So if you've got any final questions for Chris, please get them in the chat now and we will put them to him. You've got a unique opportunity to ask the person who's at the center of the most famous and controversial book in the world right now. It's making headlines everywhere, including in this country.
I want to give a shout out to Natanya Rubin too, because I forgot to mention her name. She's a very important person, a very powerful person. And I want to say her name. People can look her up, go to her podcast, listen to her story. She is integral, and God bless her. So I want to give a shout out to her for sure. And she's going to be instrumental moving forward in the future too.
You're being asked if you're worried about a gag order being put on you.
They can't gag me. No. Because I'm technically part of the media. When I'm a journalist and storyteller, you can't gag the media. You can only gag witnesses and anyone, if they tried to subpoena me, I don't think they will. They can't subpoena the book. The book's already out there. There's nothing to subpoena, right? So they can order it themselves or listen to it online. I don't have the tapes. I don't have any footage. So even if they came and got my phone and iPad, they don't have any. There's nothing to use. So I do not foresee them. If they, look, you know what they really would do? They would call me. With Courtney's situation is a little different. Courtney's a cheat. Courtney's been shot. Courtney was close to 2 months. Courtney lived a life that I didn't live that life. I don't know what that's like. He knew mob guys too. He has a very interesting story. I told him he should write a book someday too about his life. I'm different. I'm not him. They're probably fear him. And then when they found out, either they bugged his phone through Title III, or they were watching him before his interviews. He didn't do those interviews till he came forward. They knew about him before. I believe the celebrity source is being tailed. I do. And when their communications are being monitored, absolutely.
Did Tupac sleep with Kim before Quad Studios is the next question.
Yes. Kim talks about she was with Pac, yes. And so does Courtney knows that too.
Tons of questions coming in, viewers. Thank you. So, Sunshine, does Chris foresee anyone else is going to be flipped from Diddy's orbit? And how does he see the case end?
I believe the security guards and the accomplices to the D-word, I don't know if I can say it, fucking censorship, man. It's like, I won't even say the German city that I always want to say when they do this. I won't say it. Yes, there will be other people going down. The security guards, i.e. the employees of Sean Combs, they're next. Absolutely. Or they're flipping on Sean, right? Like behind the scenes, they might be flipping on him, but they're definitely, they're going on.
So speaking of people above Diddy that might be going down or are involved, a lot of people asking about Clive Davis.
Nope, nothing. They're not going to touch him.
Do you think that anyone above Diddy will be touched?
Nope. That's it. You're at the peak. That's it. And I know how they work too. I did a lot of mafia stories. Did some really crazy stuff, undercover work with them. I learned a lot from those guys. They changed my life. When you got the big fish, there's nowhere else to go. They don't want Clive Davis. You sure are trying to be burned out in the industry? Oh, they're going to go after Lucy and Gray. Why? Why? You're trying to ruin Hollywood? You got your guy. He's going down. It's like when they had Epstein. You're going after who else? Above him. Are you trying to get killed? Like, what are you doing? Like, just take who you got. That's them. Epstein's gone. However that happened. Diddy's there. He's gone. R. Kelly's gone. Right? Weinstein's gone. That's it. You take them, and that's it. The other people, the people below them, yes, couple year sentence probably, sure. You know, look, because if you don't get anybody else, you're saying Sean Combs did all that by himself? Like, think that doesn't even make any sense. What do you call this guy, Al Capone? Like, to me, no, seriously, to me, there was a couple of times, and I look, I kind of love this too. I'm like a seesaw, man. I love it, I hate it, I love it. It's the same thing, you know what I mean? Like, it's part of my, Sean Combs, to me, I'll leave you with some of this. I watched a lot of footage of him. People are posting a lot of crazy stuff. The dude was like Al Capone. I'm just saying it right now. With the shots and the black billionaires and the parties, this guy was a wizard. Like, what he did is insane. And the more that comes out, the minors and this and that, you're just like, who is this guy? Who is he? Maybe Courtney's right. He is this guy. He does magic. I'm a sorcerer. Think about it. How did they live with this stuff for that long? Think about it. And now we have 120 victims with Busby, and Ariel's got like 10 of them on her own. I'm almost fascinated.
You're getting asked as to whether this fascination has led to you looking at Diddy's history, like childhood, etc. Catholic Church, things that may have happened to him, essay kind of things that may have happened to him. Have you ever unearthed anything like that?
What's that about his childhood or youth?
Yeah, childhood, the Catholic Church, things that may have happened to him as he was rising up in terms of SA, that kind of stuff.
Most of what I hear, and I don't want to be really careful how I say this. Most of, we're talking about Sean Combs, right? With her connection in the underworld, and with Frank Lucas and Pops, and that's what Courtney says too. Courtney, I guess, had some relationship with Frank Lucas or the family somehow, and I know he does have some very interesting background when he was young in Newark. I think he's from Newark, New Jersey. there's something there. But my point is, the way I look at it too is I think Sean is almost like a pedigree hustler. So his dad's a hustler, right? And unfortunately gets on the line, right? Because he gets caught up in the game. Thousands of men did, and God rest their souls, even if they. I'm not big on like dealers getting unalive. To me, I don't think like someone should die. If they did unalive somebody, that's different. But I'm saying people, Jesus said too, the meek shall inherit the earth. I'm talking about like people don't deserve to be destroyed all the time because they did one little thing wrong. My point is this: Sean Combs is pedigree. His father was good at being a hustler, and so was his mom. He is born from that, and he's gifted. He's gifted. He's ambitious. He has the gift of gab. He could dance. He could sing. He knew good music. He was smart. He was quick. He was slick. He had everything. He had the looks. He had all the pretty girls. He was a genius. I have to say it. It's okay. The devil's a genius. He is. And so I think he was kind of cut from that cloth. A lot of people say that. That's how I look at it. He was born for this. It's like Capone.
A lot of people are asking for your thoughts on the nightclub shooting incident with Jayla.
That is Natanya Rubin. Go check her out. She lived it. She knows everything about that. Shine. I can't say too much about Shine because he's litigious. You guys can read between the lines. Shine's trying to come out and say certain things. Natanya knows the truth. She lived through that. And J-Lo was complicit and brought in the gun into the club. And I'm not saying they're going to go after her. I'm just saying they're all over her right now. There's a PI on her right now too. I know that they're looking at. Look, the statute of limitations is probably up. She didn't get charged, but she did bring in, I believe, one of the guns, and they also threw out one of the guns out of the car. They said it was a woman's hand when they threw it out. So she knows she's involved in a cover. I'm not saying she pulled the trigger. So Natanya Rubin is the soul of the club shooting story.
J-Lo's a bit nervous about all this stuff right now.
Gene Deal?
J-Lo.
Oh, J-Lo? I don't know. She's wealthy, she's famous, she's got the best attorneys. I think if the past is the past, she didn't shoot anybody. Like, I think she should move on. Now, supposedly, Courtney said she's on the tape. I don't know that. I didn't see it, but she described something about her. If you look back, he did. So she's probably going to be pretty upset if they leak that.
Because wasn't Diddy supposed to be still in love with Kim while he was supposedly dating J-Lo?
So in the book, Kim says when Sean was dating J-Lo, Sean called her like 50 times a day. He never left her. Kim Porter was Sean's true love. She let him do what he did, but she was his true love. So even when J-Lo was with Sean, he was still with Kim. The only time Kim and Sean really stopped was, I believe, 06. I don't know if I get the date right. 07. The twins are born in 06. The other child is born. That's what she's talking about. That's what the source says. There's two women pregnant at the same time. Kim Porter and the other girl, I won't say her name. She has a child before the twins. They're very close, all three of them. They're beautiful girls. They're beautiful. The three of them, but they're all like the same age. And then after that, after the birth, then I believe Kim ends it with Sean officially forever. Now, did they stay together after? Maybe. Was there something here and there? Probably, but officially they say 94 to 2007. I think she knew Sean before 94. I saw some diary stuff, and she's trying to say June 15th of 94. I think she knew him before. I don't know why she's saying that date, so I'd have to look into it a little more.
Alright, we've got less than 10 minutes left with Chris before our next show, which is American Conspiracy Octopus Murders. We've got an insider coming on that. And Chris, get your final questions in, folks. So you've been asked as to whether do you suspect the Tupac was he aware that Kim was documenting these things? Would you have had any knowledge of the book?
Who?
Tupac. Remember she was writing about the menage a trois, that kind of thing? Suppose.
Not about the book, no, because Tupac died in '96. Yeah, that's so long ago. He wouldn't have known anything about any book. The person asked the question about how about Tupac. Courtney said Shakir Stewart gave him the book. That's not true. Courtney's saying that. I don't know if he's jumbling something real quick or if he's trying to say like Shakir told him about the book, like that Ken might have said something, but the book comes from the celebrity source. The book's not. Shakir Stewart died almost 20 years ago. Literally like 16 years ago. So that's not when he didn't have the book.
So one of the viewers is unaware that Kim wrote about Tupac, and it is quite a sensational chapter where Diddy's saying things like, "Look how fine Kim is. Come on, let's have let's all do it together," kind of thing. But Tupac's not about that.
And that's what Hollywood Bay talked about. He had talked about that page because he was one of the first people to ever see the actual original book. So, and I remember talking to him a couple times, and he would describe that. To me, I was shocked. Like when he kept saying, like, "Oh, they were gonna race with Kim Porter." I'm like, "What is going on? What is this?" Like, he kind of perked my interest because I've known him for a while, and he was running in the same circles with some people I knew. I'm like, wait, what are you talking about? What is this? Like, I was a fan. You know what I mean? That's how I do with these things. I'm the fan first. I was like, "Oh, are you serious?" Oh, and then the East Coast, West Coast, you have Pac and Biggie Kill. What? Like, is this real? So to me, I was like fascinated, but I always remember him talking about that segment of the book. And I was just like, look, I'm going to tell you this right now. Celebrities get with celebrities. Okay? They do a lot of weird stuff. I've seen it. I've been in Hollywood for 20 years. I've seen stuff that'll make your head spin like Linda Blair. Exorcist. You won't believe it. And I'm telling you right now, sometimes the crazier the story is, the better it is to conceal it. So the crazier it sounds, you can't even imagine, you can't even think it's real. So.
Yeah, because Tupac declined the group activity, let's say, but he did have relations with Kim. And Justin is asking, is this where Puffy and Pac fell out around this time? Because he felt disrespected, didn't he? That Tupac wouldn't join in.
It's not just about that. They had someone like falling out. That's part of it. Because he says, "Why are you going to do a sister like that?" That's in the book. That's what Pac says that. What are you doing? Now, how true this is, I don't know. I wasn't there. And Kim Porter's not here to tell us. And even if she told us, how do you know when someone tells you something what really happened, right? We have to remember that. People are fallible. They're erroneous. All the worst things that happen in the world, I can give you one word for it. People. So you have to be careful what you believe or trust. So did something happen probably with Kim, Pac, and Sean there? Probably yes. Right? Did she sleep with Pac? Absolutely. I believe they did. Did they try to like do a threesome and Sean said it? Maybe. I don't know. Someone needs to come forward. Sean Combs should come forward. Hey, Sean. Sean Combs. How about you tell your story? Why don't you just come clean? Come clean. Come back to God, right? Come back to God. Tell us everything that happened, and maybe they will spare you. How about that? Anybody think of that?
Yeah, I asked Pastor Rod Long that the other day. All right, so you're getting asked, what did XXX do in the book?
I just don't want any of that smoke. And so you got to find that out on your own. And there's a big story there with XXX. Big. Because, and there's a story with the celebrity source. Big. He's opened up other doors that are like more than there's other books that can come out. But I will give you a hint to your fans. I'm gonna look your fans straight in the eye if I can like this. XXX is everywhere.
Justin wants to know if you can expand on how big he was set up in LA.
Go to Cinemills TV on YouTube and go watch my interview when Chris Todd did Biggie Smalls, LAPD, Dirty Rampart Cops conspiracy against Biggie in a revenge hit for what they did to Tupac. It was a revenge against Sean Combs and Biggie. And I'm not gonna say too much about Suge Knight, but you can watch my interview and I explain everything there.
Was Diddy instrumental in sending Biggie to the wrong coast at a time when tensions was high after the death of Tupac?
You know, Gene Deal, I think, is the perfect person to talk to about that. When he talks about stand on the car and he told him, get in the car, Gene, we don't need that law. And they didn't have enough security. That's true. They shouldn't have went to LA. Gene says he knew something was going to happen, had a bad feeling, and I believe him. To go into the lion's den after what you did to Tupac, that they knew. Suge knew who killed Tupac. He knew Keefe was in the car. He saw him. Keefe told them. He said it on tape. It's a great tape. So you shouldn't have taken him to LA. Absolutely not. I mean, you were right into Wilshire and Fairfax in LA, in Hollywood, practically. After it was so hot and intense, and it was about 6 months, almost to the day. And remember, they both were unalived the exact same way. Car to car. And it was all orchestrated, and someday I hope that story and the truth can come out for Biggie and for Valletta Wallace.
Is the book admissible in court?
Probably, yeah. If they wanted to grab Courtney, and they made Courtney a witness, or they asked me, I doubt they'd ask me. But if they took Courtney and they said, you need to bring this, absolutely, they could use the book, yeah.
Yeah, the fact that it kicked Courtney's door in, it authenticates all of this, and people were saying that Chris was making all this up, it was fake, it wasn't authenticated, but now there's more and more evidence coming out every day that it's true. Chris, we're almost going to go into the next show.
Sure.
So, is there any way the viewers can contact you or follow you, or are you anyone?
Yeah, I'm easy to get. Chris Todd, investigator, Chris Todd, OJ, investigator, phone up. My email is investigatorla19@gmail.com or hopscotchfree101@gmail. Also, you can pull my phone number and text me. If you go, you can find me online, Facebook. I am on Instagram. I think my Instagram is rogueproducer15 or something like that. Rogue_producer15. And I'm easy to find. You can find my number and my emails. And God bless to your fans. And I appreciate the opportunity to talk to you.
Yeah, and if you've got any links you want to send me for the viewers, do so, because a lot of people are going to want to follow you and reach out and message you after this.
Right,
Really appreciate you spending time with us, Chris. Good luck with your mission, and stay safe, brother.
Thank you, Sean. I appreciate it. God bless.
Thank you. Cheers. What a phenomenal interview, Chris. So full of passion and energy tonight for what he's doing. And if you've seen the ups and downs in the news since he came on 6 weeks ago, it's just been absolutely mental. And like he says, it is one of the most fascinating and biggest stories since Epstein. The rabbit holes, there's so many rabbit holes you can go down. And I think that's why, we've had various people coming on the channel, speaking from their perspective, speaking from experience, taking us down some of the various rabbit holes, and we're going to continue to do so. If you want to go down a different rabbit hole, we've got John Abbott, part 6. He's one of our most viral guests. He's coming on because his former friend.
pack, and it's only $6. Get the big box y'all love today. And this holiday season, you can order a Cajun-style turkey at your local Popeyes.
Love that chicken from Popeyes. I will come get.
Hello, how you guys doing? I hope all is well. Welcome to the Messy Sweet Spot. I'm your host, Gigi. And when I tell you, the stuff that I am coming across, you guys, it is heartbreaking. I'm hearing stories of Oprah Winfrey. They are stating that Oprah was not only getting young girls, but getting young boys for Diddy. Okay? If you guys do not know, look around. It's all been over the news that Diddy has this thing for young boys. Okay? So we do know that. We do know young boys have came out, they're going to sue, and they're telling their stories about what was going on with the white parties, the freak-offs, and how their parents brought them to these parties. Wow. So I want you guys to listen and I want you guys to comment because I want to know what you guys have to say about all of these stories. I'm not making this up. So let's listen here and see what they have to say. And I just want to say thank you all for your likes, your support, and your comments. And I urge you to please continue with the likes, comments, and we have to study with the fights. All right, so let's hear what they have to say.
Our investigators confirm and corroborate what we've been told are names that will shock you. These are individual cases. There are indeed other perpetrators involved.
Son, wait a minute. I'm going to disrupt the pattern that's put in place, the system that's put in place designed to take you out, right? I'm going to disrupt that. I'm going to give you some information. She's smart.
Yes.
She has a photographic memory. So she has qualifications to do it, and she's very successful.
So my intention was to make people think I was nice.
Since his arrest on September 16th, Diddy has allegedly been doing everything to cash in his get-out-of-jail card, including spilling the tea on the all-powerful Ms. Winfrey. Most people already thought she was shady, but guess who else is allegedly in on it and has also allegedly fled the country? Her longtime partner, Stedman Graham. Apparently, gracing Diddy's infamous parties was seemingly a couple thing for Graham and Winfrey, and now the authorities are allegedly hot on their trail. Why would Diddy string them up if they were all in on it from the beginning? You might have heard that Diddy was denied bail on 2 different occasions, even after putting up his mother's multi-million-dollar home. Sounds like something a desperate person would do, don't you agree? Well, now the rapper seems to be taking a different route by offering up some major names in the industry that several people alleged were in on it with him. And do you know who reports seem to be pointing at? Ms. Winfrey and her man?
So I'll never say it because I felt like it did value me and my family.
Did they know about Diddy's attacks on women? Not only do several people believe she was aware of just how demented Diddy was over the years, but some sources are alleging that the host was involved in it while it was happening. And there's a pattern to back up those claims.
We arrested the former employee of leadership academy for girls. She was arrested yesterday for several charges.
Over the years, there have been several men in the entertainment world who have been accused of inappropriate behavior, ranging from groping people against their will to full-on forcing them to do the unthinkable. At the mention of this, you may think of names like Jeffrey Epstein and Harvey Weinstein, and more recently now, Diddy. Besides being in the industry, do you know the one other thing these men have in common? Cordial relationship with the queen of daytime TV, Winfrey.
And he was with people in which I admired dearly. He was with Naomi Campbell. He had Oprah Winfrey there with him, who entered the room and was swinging off his arm. And
does this mean Lady O might know more than she's been giving on? Child, that's only the tip of the iceberg.
So Rose McGowan has put Oprah on blast. Rose recently called out Oprah on Twitter over her past associations with some controversial men.
See, the thing with Diddy's recent arrest is that it proves that the rapper actually learned from where those other demented names failed. While Diddy may be guilty of several of the heinous accusations against him, the rapper made it a point to carry several other celebrities along with him.
They already know who they are.
And I'm talking here about not just the cowardly but complicit bystanders. That is, those people that we know watched this behavior occur and did nothing.
Now, Epstein allegedly did this too, but unlike in his case, the authorities actually found clips of other celebrities indulging in some of the same messed up things Diddy himself is accused of. And it seems Winfrey's man has just found out how deeply involved his beloved partner may have been in them. No one knows if it's the fear of getting roped in too, or the sheer shock of finding the person he's known for decades may be just as bad as the other names here. But word on the street is that the man fled. Big question is, what exactly could he have seen and heard to make him jump ship without a second thought? It'll blow your mind.
I'm dedicated to her happiness, and so that's great for her. And I want her to be the best she can possibly be, and she's done a pretty good job.
When you've been with one of the entertainment industry's most powerful women for decades, it's only expected that you've seen a thing or two that would absolutely shock the public. This seems to have been Stedman Graham's story until it became too much to handle. This may come as a shock to many because Winfrey's partner hasn't exactly been seated in the limelight, but trust me, he's always been in the picture. Winfrey and Stedman Graham have been together since 1986, which is an incredible 38 years. Their relationship is pretty unique. They've never married or had kids, despite all the public speculation. Stedman, who's a successful author and businessman, tends to keep a low profile, often staying out of the spotlight that's always on O. That was until Diddy's case blew up. Some recent updates in the investigation on Diddy, and those involved in the things he was accused of, seem to have yielded some information that has now put Graham and his woman in the spotlight, and not for the right reasons. In the past, the only thing that brought their relationship to the headlines was its unconventionality, as their relationship has been anything but normal. Case in point, their current arrangement. In 1992, Stedman proposed to Winfrey, and she accepted. However, the wedding never happened. Winfrey has since explained that she realized she didn't want the constraints of a traditional marriage. In her column in O, the O magazine, she wrote about how she had doubts after saying yes to his proposal. I had doubts. I realized I didn't actually want a marriage. I wanted to be asked. I wanted to know he felt I was worthy of being his missus, but I didn't want the sacrifices, the compromises, the day in, day out commitment required to make a marriage work. My life with the show was my priority, and we both knew it. She continued by writing that he has individual personhood. He isn't just Oprah's man, and they share the same important values. And because we relish seeing the other fulfill and manifest their destiny and purpose, she finished. Now, you see, maybe that is why there's been a lot of talk about how...
Ready to hear about our Heavenly Father's plan for you?
I think it's time for what? Time for new day.
Now, you see, maybe that is why there's been a lot of talk about how Winfrey seems to always be focused on herself, with some wondering if she's ever really considered how Stedman feels. People speculate that this might be why Stedman is reportedly fed up with the constant pressure and spotlight. What gives this perspective merit is that for someone whose entire brand is based on being politically correct and being the most upstanding citizen, Winfrey has had her fair share of controversies, accusations of smear, campaigns against critics, sabotaging careers, and some really disturbing claims.
Oprah legitimized the notorious criminal Jao Teixeira, aka John of God, as a miraculous faith healer, one who could cure cancer.
Back in 2007, Winfrey launched the Leadership Academy for Girls in South Africa, inspired by Nelson Mandela. It faced initial opposition from the South African government due to its high costs in a poorer area. When the school opened, its luxurious facilities like salons and gyms raised eyebrows. Over the years, scandals have surfaced at the school, but conspiracy theories about HT remain unsubstantiated. So Winfrey built this $40 million school in South Africa, and they had 152 students attend. Winfrey actually handpicked the 152 students who attended her school, but it wasn't long until some of these students were being harmed by one of the employees of the school. Her name is Virginia, and she was 27 years old at the time, and she was charged with 13 counts of getting inappropriate with the kids. Virginia got physical with at least 6 students aged 13 to 15. So these students were handpicked by Winfrey to go and live at this academy. And one of these employees, who is managing the dorm, is physically touching them and doing things to them and harming them. The A scandal that has rocked Winfrey's South African School for Girls does not reflect badly on the famous talk show host wrote the Times, a Johannesburg newspaper, in an editorial. It reflects badly on this nation, and it should not be surprising that it manifested itself in O's school. O should not be condemned for allegations made against this matron. She should be praised for her decision to aggressively deal with it. This incident was a black mark for South Africa, which has had issues with children being harmed by school employees. Oprah's decision to place these students in harm's way by an employee she selected was deeply concerning. After the news about Virginia broke, Winfrey took decisive action. She traveled to South Africa with a team of investigators to uncover the full extent of what has happened at the academy.
6 students of the 152 accepted students by Oprah to attend the institution, laying accusations on the dorm matron Virginia Tinley basketball.
So, it's a good thing Winfrey went down to that school in South Africa to investigate, because, her name's all over it. And yeah, unfortunately, that Virginia employee got cleared of all charges. Justice systems, they're messed up everywhere, right? And get this, Virginia turned around and tried to sue Winfrey for defamation, even though she was found innocent. But hey, that's not the only scandal to come out of Oprah's school. It's been one after another since it opened. If it wasn't students getting essayed, then it was stories of underage students getting pregnant, all with her name in front of the school. And can you guess who had a front seat to it all? Her partner Graham. Anyway, besides the school scandal, Winfrey has been caught up in countless others, many of which have revolved around the same things Diddy has been recently repeatedly accused of. To drive my point, let's take her relationship with Harvey Weinstein, for example. Winfrey and Weinstein have had a professional relationship that stretches back 2 decades. There are many photographs of her kissing and hugging the mogul at award ceremonies and events sponsored by the Weinstein Company. She has starred in and produced movies that his company distributed, including The Butler and The Great Debaters. For those who may not know, Harvey Weinstein is an American filmmaker who rose to become the face of an A for the Me Too movement. Per the news, 5 years ago, the story that had long been whispered in the halls of agencies and studios, as well as on film and television sets, finally became public. A series of bombshell articles revealed that Harvey Weinstein harassed and assaulted dozens of women for decades and used his power to bully them into silence. According to TMZ, Weinstein said Winfrey encouraged him to defend himself publicly, implying that the TV host might have actually been on Weinstein's side against so many women. However, her people said they never spoke directly and she was only interested in talking to him for a TV interview.
Let's talk about what's happening with Harvey Weinstein. I know you posted on, and so I think this is a watershed moment. And if we make this just about Harvey Weinstein, then we will have lost this moment.
Interestingly, Winfrey made no mention of Weinstein during her inspiring Golden Globe speech. She has made it clear during other public utterances on the scandal that the cultural shift underway went much further than Weinstein's crimes alone. In fact, according to reports from a couple of years back, an aspiring actress said Harvey Weinstein used Winfrey and Naomi Campbell to dupe her into thinking he would help her with her career, only to use her for
He was with people in which I admired dearly. He was with Naomi Campbell. He had Oprah Winfrey there with him, who entered the room and was swinging off his arm. And
British actress Katie and Noble said she was head over heels impressed when she first met Weinstein at an event in London because he was hanging out with model Campbell and had megastar Winfrey swinging off his arm. I thought obviously this man has something amazing in store for me, she said during a teary-eyed press conference in Manhattan to discuss the lawsuit she filed a day earlier against Weinstein in Manhattan federal court.
I would have to be someone who is established, who everyone would have had to know about before I was privileged enough to meet someone later. So that gave me so much confidence.
Instead, Weinstein used promises of career advancement to lure the actress to his hotel room in Cannes, France, where he forced himself on her, he said. Considering Weinstein could have allegedly used Winfrey to lure other women, who's to say she didn't do it for other alleged serial assaulters she was close to?
Our boat alighted dark monsters.
This is what brings us to her shady long-time connection with John of God.
We've been investigating this man's practices around the world and have found a sinister history of police investigations, allegations, and secret recordings.
Sound familiar? Yep, just like Diddy, and as with him, Lady O was also in the middle of this. A couple of years back, Winfrey was caught up in a story involving a false prophet, who also turned out to be a serial... And guess who brought him into the limelight in the first place? Yes, she did. Juan Teixeira de Faria, better known as John of God, became famous for his intense methods of healing. O. Winfrey, known for her influential platform, once dedicated an episode of her show to John of God in 2010, amplifying his reach and giving him a seal of legitimacy in the eyes of her millions of viewers. Winfrey's visit to Brazil in 2012 to film an episode of Oprah's Next Chapter further cemented his status as a respected spiritual figure.
One of the most famous spiritual healers in the world rarely talks to anyone on camera. John of God agreed to sit down with me under a mango tree on the grounds of the casa.
Over 4 decades, he worked as a celebrity faith healer in Abadiânia, a small town in central Brazil. It was there, conducting bizarre and unproven medical procedures, that João Teixeira de Faria became known as John of God, building a legion of believers across the world, including a band of loyal followers in Australia who were happy to open their wallets for his supposed miracle-giving touch and ethereal blessings. Each week, people from all corners of the globe flocked in their thousands to John of God's compound, Casa de Dom Inácio, 130 kilometers southwest of Brasilia. There, dressed in all white, many hoped to find a cure for cancer, blindness, or to stand and rise from their wheelchairs. Faria's rising fame was elevated to a new trajectory, courtesy of some Hollywood stardust, when O. Winfrey came calling in 2010 for a series titled Do You Believe in Miracles? In a since-deleted column on her website, Winfrey wrote how she was overwhelmed by the experience of seeing Faria cutting into the bee of a woman without anesthesia, and that she left feeling an overwhelming sense of peace. But this wasn't the same story with everyone.
And did you feel anything at all after you had been in this man's presence?
Nothing. Nothing else.
So it was nothing more than a show.
Nonetheless, that appearance on Winfrey's mega platform ensured John of God attracted even more international attention, with Faria's faith-healing compound reportedly luring celebrities and stars, including supermodel Naomi Campbell and Brazilian footballer Ronaldo. But it was regular people, often vulnerable, who were John of God's bread and butter. It was the stream of those visitors that allowed Faria to amass a fortune worth tens of millions of dollars before his world caved in under an avalanche of explosive accusations that he had essayed hundreds of women, and claims he had operated an international baby-teeing ring from his compound.
A man who claimed to work miracles and heal the sick. He called himself John of God, but there's nothing godly about it. Thousands of people flocked to him, hoping for a cure to their pain.
8 years later, the Christian world was rocked by an explosive scandal that exposed John of God's true nature. Over 300 women, including his own daughter, bravely came forward to share their harrowing experiences of SA at the hands of the man they had trusted to heal their pain. The accounts were gut-wrenching and painted a chilling picture of manipulation, betrayal, and unspeakable acts. The victims described how they had been lured into private sessions with Faria, seeking solace and relief from their physical and emotional struggles. Instead, they became victims of his perverse desires. Among his followers, Faria became famous for conducting psychic surgeries that he said could cure diseases, particularly cancer. The psychic surgeries involved supernatural, invisible procedures using only the power of what Faria called the entity, some kind of divine connection to cure illnesses. Faria's other surgeries were much less whimsical. He would slice people open without anesthesia or push forceps deep inside the noses of patients who were willing to trust him with tools usually reserved for the hands of trained surgeons, which Faria was most definitely not. Thousands of Australians, some terminally ill or suffering from debilitating sicknesses, reportedly visited his compound over the years, despite critics arguing the faith healer was nothing more than a charlatan, fleecing his believers for a lot more than their time. Media outlets, especially right-wing ones, resurfaced pictures that Winfrey would probably prefer to stay hidden of her calling around with disgraced Hollywood producer Harvey Weinstein, who has been accused of SHing or Aing more than 80 women. But it was more. John of God's entire compound was something of a cash cow.
You see, John of God's supposed healing isn't free. He's a thrifty businessman making tens of millions of dollars.
An Australian 60 Minutes investigation in 2014 found visitors to the compound were prescribed sessions on crystal beds, costing $25, which were believed to earn John of God $1.8 million a year. From a John of God pharmacy, blessed water in standard plastic bottles was sold for $1, and blessed herbal pills, $25 a bottle. It is estimated the pill generated sales of $40,000 a day, a haul of more than $14 million over 1 year. An Australian doctor who traveled with 60 Minutes tested the pills and found they were nothing more than simple passion flower herbal supplements. In the end, it's only expected that Winfrey would hold at least some small bit of accountability for this, but unsurprisingly, she might be responsible for a lot more like this. It's been under wraps for years, but Winfrey has been alleged to have been so connected to Diddy that not only are there talks that she might have been enabling him by providing a steady supply of women, but also a frequent guest at his freak-offs. Hours ago, Allie Carter, a woman alleged to have been a victim of Diddy's parties, released a video speaking about how she was SA'd at those events.
Allie Carter has just made an affidavit of truth that she turned over to the feds against Diddy and other celebrities about how she was allegedly at a Playboy Mansion party.
The woman spoke about how the rap mogul had secret tunnels in his home for discretionary transportation of people, usually women and sometimes younger individuals, to these events. However, she didn't stop at speaking only about her experience. She also name-dropped some celebrities she alluded to having seen at the parties, and among the shocking few she named was old Ms. Winfrey.
You're watching a toothbrush play Billie Eilish. But did you know that there's a YouTube Music app where you can also listen to the EDM version?
type of feast to get you ready for bed. Good sleep is the key to a good adventure. So, the town has a number of these statues as well. They have these statues were erected for travelers like men.
Well done, Master.
Latin cannot be avoided, despite the desire. Understand.
I will use this opportunity to gather my strength. My own master. As the arisen command, so must be obeyed. Show some haste.
I'll go and open the chest. I'll take that. We might find it useful. It seems I've been led to defeat too many foes. Perhaps I ought to be more selective in future.
Turned over to the feds against Diddy and other celebrities about how she was allegedly at a Playboy Mansion party.
The woman spoke about how the rap mogul had secret tunnels in his home for discretionary transportation of people, usually women and sometimes younger individuals, to these events. However, she didn't stop at speaking only about her experience. She also name-dropped some celebrities she alluded to having seen at the parties, and among the shocking few she named was old Ms. Winfrey. Now, with the recent surge in claims about people being filmed in those freak-offs, Lady O might not be entirely safe.
The last freak off tape that just got sold on the darknet, which I know because of my hunter, went for 500 million. It had multiple stars in it.
Even the fans have been talking about it since the news about Diddy broke on social media. One person wrote, "Everyone needs to remember that O. Winfrey is on that P. Diddy list as well. And she has been sued for HT, and she continues to TC with the Obamas and everybody else out there in Clinton." A different user wrote, "When everything comes to light, O and Diddy should get the Gaddafi treatment." While Diddy seems to be on his way to getting that treatment, it would appear Lady O's day of reckoning may not be too far behind. Mere hours ago, more updates have come out about Diddy's tapes that might have Lady O a little worried. Attorney Ariel Mitchell Kidd, who represented one of Sean Diddy Combs' accusers, claims she'd been told about the existence of 3 S tapes featuring the disgraced music mogul and 3 other celebs. The individuals who contacted me reported to have 3 different tapes with 3 different celebrities, including Diddy, and then a 4th celebrity without Diddy, but in a compromising situation with someone, the lawyer claimed on News Nation's Fan Field with guest host Laura Ingle Friday. Mitchell Kidd added that it is believed the person in the alleged 4th tape was recorded at one of Combs' homes, and said the other 3 individuals were reportedly A-list celebrities. Could Winfrey really be one of those A-listers? For that, we'll have to wait.
Wow. Every day, new people. Can you believe it? Do you actually believe that Oprah was involved? Comment, let us know. Little boys, oh my goodness. We need to find out who are these young boys. And are they already speaking to the lawyers? Are these the young boys that are speaking out and telling the feds their story? And that's why so many people are talking about it, because it's coming from them, you know. Comment, I want to know your thoughts about this. Make sure you guys like, share, and subscribe here at the Messy Sweet Spot. And I'll see you guys on another video. Bye.
Arisen, I know of at least one location in the vicinity that may be of interest to you. Shall I tell you more?
Fight on, and victory shall be ours.
One might confidently call that a flat.
Glorious!
I trust all spoken.
Huzzah! Ox carts make for relatively safer travel. Walking everywhere is certainly tiring.
This tavern is open. Isn't that something?
to understand Elvish, Master. I expect 'tis a pity we must part after sharing such a journey. I shall cherish my memories of our time together.
Hail arisen. 'Tis plain you've been training diligently in my absence. I'm well glad to be traveling by your side. Have we met, sirs? You seem familiar somehow. Oh, you're back. And our date is set.
Well met, sir. How's the day treating you then? You come again?
So enjoy stocking up on supplies.
I hope our coin purse isn't too much lighter.
Right you are.